Okay, let's see here. Okay, make sure we got some audio live. Okay, all right, perfect. What's going on, family? What's happening? Day 89, last 2 days of the 90 days of value. Day 89 coming to a close on the 90 days of value. What's going on, family? I'm Mr. Kingdom Cash, Charles Dyson. Uh, I want to thank you so much for all of your viewership, for attending these 90 days of value. It's been nothing short of amazing. It's been really fun, very informative. And I want to thank you for every like, every share, every comment, every inbox messages that I received from all of you. And this is going to stand the test of time. These 90 days of value, these principles that continue to elevate my life and is elevating people's life all over the world. I know that this is going to stand the test of time, and people are going to use this information to absolutely change their entire life. And for those of you who do not know, this is your first time watching one of my videos, I want to thank you for attending. My name is Mr. Kingdom Cash Charles Dyson. I'm 39 years old. I have 10 children. I have not worked a traditional job since April 2013. And, you know, I truly believe that my financial elevation that I've experienced through running businesses, through investing, through leveraging, I think that um, the beginning of my elevation started with a shift in mentality, a different way of viewing things, new information that I was not previously aware of. And when I became aware of it, I had new information I could apply and turn into money. I truly believe that mindset is the beginning of all financial elevation. So I decided to go live 90 days straight and give all of this informative, life changing information that can begin to shift your mentality, help you believe bigger, help you understand how close you are to really everything you've ever wanted, right? Many people don't understand you are way closer to everything you've ever wanted than you even realize. And all you have to do, all it requires is really getting the right information and applying it, right? And that's what this 90 days of value is all about. And I'm on day 89 today. This is the day before the last day. And these last two ones are going to be explosive, really, really powerful. So today, it's going to be no different. It's going to be really powerful. So, what I'm talking about today is three of the most important things I wish I would have known sooner in life. You know, these are the things that I wish somebody would have sat me down and helped me understand sooner, right? And really, what I'm about to go over the next few minutes in this video, I really want to encourage you to sit your children down, your teenagers, right? These three things are three things that starting as young as 5 years old, you want to repetitively get your children to understand this, right? Over the years, start ingraining these principles in them now. I promise you, it's going to pay off residually for the rest of their life. These are the three things that I realized that I wish somebody would have told me sooner. As soon as I could understand these things, I believe that my success that I've experienced, it it grew exponentially. It grew exponentially, and and I'm gonna talk about these three things. The first one is what you focus on grows. Sounds really simple, but it's so powerful. I wish I would have understood this sooner. What you focus on grows. Eliminate all noise and only focus on things that will help you progress to the next level. It is so important. You know, certain situations that happen in life, um, especially when you're young. and things that seem so important, things that seem so big, it doesn't matter at all. It doesn't matter at all. It doesn't move the needle at all. It doesn't progress your life at all. It's one of these things that I've developed years ago, decades ago. We got to leave the small stuff small. We got to leave the small stuff small. We can't make small things gigantic issues, right? Getting all emotional and letting it stop your progress or your momentum, letting it take your mind or your focus off of what you need to be focused on in order to get your life exactly where you want it to go. First of all, within within that saying, the foundation of it is actually knowing where you want to go, knowing where you want your life to go, reverse engineering your uh your your destination, right? I heard Warren Buffett say it like this. He said Charlie Munger taught him this. Charlie Munger taught Warren Buffett to write your obituary and then reverse engineer it. And at first it sounded funny, right? But once Warren started explaining what his friend meant, what he was saying was, you got to know exactly where you want to take your life and then reverse engineer it. Figure out, okay, from where I am now, how do I get to that point, exactly where I want to be? And many people don't think like that. They don't think like that at all. They don't understand that you have the ability to choose where you want your life to go. You right, which is another way of saying, focusing on what you want to accomplish. You get to choose it. But when you are distracted, when you are too entertained, when you let other people tell you what you can or what you can't achieve, when you let other people's limiting beliefs become your limiting belief, okay? If you put your attention on negativity, then that's what you're going to attract in your life. If you hang in environments that are negative, that are not good for you, that are not productive, right? I heard someone else say it like this: there ain't nothing good for you in the street after 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right? Or whatever time zone you're in. Once 10 o'clock hits, there's nothing in the street that's good for you. I heard another person say it like that. And it's actually true. It's nothing in the street at the 10 o'clock that's gonna move the needle, right? Not unless you're at a function with high quality, elevated people, around people that you can actually learn something from, right? But what you focus on is what is going to actually happen. I said it like this to someone just recently. I said, listen, I don't care what the subject matter is. I don't care how difficult the subject matter seems to be. If you focus on something for 10 years consistently, on that 10th year, you're going to be way better than you were on day one. I don't care what it could be rocket science, right? It could be learning a new language. It could be anything. 10 years of dedication to one thing, you're going to be way better at it than when you first started. And that's 10 years. That's the same thing is true for 8 years. The same thing is true for 5 years. The same thing is true for 3 years. The same thing is true for 365 days. Anything you focus on, you're going to be better at the more time you compound on that one thing. What you focus on will grow. And if you get a correct perception of time, if you have a don't quit attitude, if you approach things with the intention to get better every single day, you are going to make progress. More progress than you can even imagine, right? The second thing, right? These are the three things, the three most important things I wish I would have known sooner in life. The second one is be intentional about everything. Again, sounds really simple, not too profound, right? But if you think about it deeply, it is extremely profound. Extremely. Be intentional about everything, not just one thing, about everything, right? Success isn't an accident. Ooh. Mm-mm-mm. Success is not an accident. It's the result of purposeful activities. It's the result of purposeful activities. And it's one of the simplest things to understand. But like I say all the time, consistency is a superpower. Why? Because most people are not consistent. You will get better results than most people around you simply by choosing to be consistent in that one specific area. If you approach things with intentionality, you're going to get better results. If you plan out your activities, if you plan out your work, and then do exactly what you say you're going to do, if you plan out your work and then execute that plan, the results are going to show. Purposeful activity. And the reason why you want to be intentional about everything is because you have 75 trillion cells in your body that are always listening. Always listening. The worst type of liar is someone who lies to themselves. The worst type of liar is someone who lies to themselves, because the more you lie to yourself the incorrect way, right, the more your subconscious mind believes, because it only will accept anything you give it. It can't reject anything. And the subconscious then seeps into the conscious mind, right? So if you have a history of starting and stopping things, right, and you finally make the decision, all right, I'm on it. This is what I'm going to do. Your mind says, no, you're not. Your mind says, no, you're not going to do it. And it's the internal dialogue. It's the dialogue that nobody else can hear. And this is why you have to become consistent with what you internally decide to do on your own. It's not what you voice to anybody else. You can lie to anybody. You can tell somebody what you're going to do. It means absolutely nothing until you do it. But when you train your mind to believe what you say you're going to do, right? That intentionality, it flows into your decision making to actually elevate your life. It does. And I don't care how small it is. It could be something as simple as, all right, for the next 7 days, I'm not drinking anything but water. For the next 7 days, I'm going to walk every day, 30 minutes. And you should start with something that you usually wouldn't do. It has to be something that makes you uncomfortable, because what you're doing is training your mind to believe your decision making. You're training your mind, reprogramming yourself to believe that when you say you're going to do something, you're going to do it. And what does that do? That builds an impeccable word. When you say you're going to do something, again, not to anybody else, internally, when you make a declaration, you want your subconscious mind to accept it. You want all of your faculties to come into alignment with what you say you believe. Belief is a very powerful thing. Belief is a very powerful thing. There's a woman, there was a news story a long time ago. This woman's child got trapped underneath a car, and that child would have died if someone did not get that car off of that child. The mom, in an instant, did not wait for anybody to rescue the child. She did not call and ask for help. She didn't have time to look to anybody else. She made a decision, an internal declaration. Something in front of her had to be done. It must be accomplished. Now, it makes no logical sense that this woman was able to do what she did, but she picked that car up, that tire. She picked that car up enough for her child to get free and then put it down on her own with no help. When you tell your mind you can do something, and this is powerful, this is a powerful statement. When you tell your mind that something is going to happen, physics doesn't matter. You can bend reality to your will. Now, if you reject this notion, it won't be true for you. And the end of the story is they brought her back to the same exact type of car and told her to lift it up, and she couldn't do it. She could not do it. She could not physically lift the car up. But when it was a must, when there was no other choice, she could. Your mind is a powerful instrument. It's a tool. And when used correctly, you can convince yourself that anything is possible, but it requires you to get in certain environments. And it requires you to stretch your mind and to accept certain things that might be unbelievable to other people. I've trained myself to believe that making money is easy. It really is. It's the easiest thing that you can engage in is making money. My mentor, Bob Proctor, rest in peace to Bob Proctor, used to say it all the time. Engaging in the process of trying to make money is literally the easiest thing that you can do. And there was one point in my life where that concept was foreign to me, but because of the different environments that I've been in, the different people that I've been around, I now understand that there are no limits. You can take this as far as you want to take it. You can do anything you decide to do. But the beginning, the starting point of this is becoming intentional about everything, because everything is all connected. You, the vessel, you are the one that decides, and nobody can decide for you. Nobody can look into your spirit and tell you what you're capable of. Nobody can look into your mind and tell you that the way you think is incorrect. If you convince yourself, hey, I'm going to make $750 billion before I close my eyes and leave this earth, nobody can look inside of you and say, no, you can't. That's not possible. You know what you're capable of. You know what you decided to do. And all you need to do is have the mindset that against all logic, against what anybody says, I'm going to go do it. And then you go do it. And when you decide to do it, there's not one single day that you're going to take a day off. You're going to relax. No, when you set a goal that agrees with your spirit, the goal will pull you towards it. That's the reason why every single day I wake up invigorated. I wake up with energy. I wake up excited. I wake up with new ideas. I woke up with new ideas this morning that I'm executing on this morning. I got an idea and I started executing. I know this process. It's done. It's worked for me before. I've had those quantum leaps that don't make sense, from concept in my mind to $50,000 in only 4 weeks. I've had these types of quantum leaps from idea to execution, but the foundation of it is I believe in myself. I develop certain skill sets. I'm willing to pay for information. Nobody's doubt in what I can do will stop me. But I'm intentional in my life. Now, does it mean you're perfect? No, it does mean that you recognize there's always growth that can be had. You can get better day by day. You can change in an instant. This is a light switch moment, right? It's that fast. It's that fast. You can make a decision to be different. right now. You could have been procrastinating your whole entire life, and then you hear this message right here and make a decision, and it's like in an instant you're different because you decided, and you are in control of the results that you get in the future by the decisions you make in the present. It's that simple. It's a light switch, quick instant change. It's not something you got to go sit with a therapist to discuss. It's not something that you have to, decompress and process over and over and over again before you make the decision. It's not something that you got to grow into or become. No, you become it now. Right now, the moment you make the decision is the moment it starts. It's intentional. You need to become intentional about everything. And other people will say, well, it's a process. People don't wake up overnight and start thinking like this. I beg to differ. Yes, you can. All you need is a new piece of information, the possibility, right? And the possibility that you can, understanding and building that belief in that possibility. Like, wait a minute, I can do that, whatever that is. And then making the plan and executing. It's real simple. But it starts with the internal decision. Success is not an accident. It's planned. It's meticulous. It's an everyday endeavor. All right. And the third thing, three of the most important things I wish I would have known sooner in life. Number one, what you focus on grows. Number two, be intentional about everything. And number three, it's the simplest concept. A ton of your success will be determined by the quality of people that you lock arms with. A ton of your success will be determined by the quality of people you lock arms with. Your network really and truly determines your net worth. It's true. It's absolutely true. I want you to think about this. And this is not, what I'm about to say is not theory. It's been proven. Statistics say that your net worth will be within 10% of the 5 people that you talk to the most on a daily basis. When I learned that, then it became abundantly clear to me I need to upgrade my network. That's it. I need to get around people who have higher quality information, that have the heart to share that information. See, it doesn't matter if you're around people that are high income earners that make great money if they're not going to share what they're actually doing and the framework of how to do it. It doesn't benefit you to be around people, right, that have great information that won't share it with you. But it will benefit you tremendously if you get around people who are moneymakers, who do know how to elevate through systems and information. And then those type of people start sharing information with you on how they're doing it, on how they're executing, on their day-to-day, on where they're getting their information from and how they're executing on that information, the how-to. Those type of things have a direct effect on what your bank account balance looks like. Direct effect on what your bank account balance looks like. This ain't theory. This is not theory. This is real. And it's the simplest things. These 3 things on the surface are very simple. But when you inspect these 3 things, they make all the difference in the world. All the difference in the world. I made a decision in November of 2012 to raise my value. I recognized that the jobs that I had would not pay me what I perceive my value to be. Right? My paycheck did not reflect what I perceived my value to be. And this is a different way to look at it. Whatever job you have, if you're watching this and you have a job, right? Whatever your wages or your salary is, that's exactly how that employer perceives your value to be. They say, okay, we have this position open. You interviewed for the position, right? The position pays whatever it pays. And then they interview a bunch of different people. And then they pick one person. They say, okay, this person, we believe that they can execute the responsibilities of this role. And this is what we're willing to pay you. Now, watch this. They set the salary or the wage, but you're the one that has to accept it. Now, again, disclaimer, it's a good thing you have a job. It's a good thing you can support your family and you're working and getting a wage. That's actually good. I'm not saying it's bad. What I'm saying is only having a job for a salary or that wage is very dangerous, because your livelihood depends on what someone else perceives your value to be. And at the end of the day, you are the one accepting it. And when I started thinking about the fact that jobs were only paying me $15 an hour, right? Let me flip that connotation, that meaning, right? Most people say, oh, I get paid $15 an hour. What that really means is an hour of my life is only worth $15. Ooh, that stings a little bit, don't it? Whatever the wage is, you might be on salary. Your salary might be $70,000 a year. It's nothing sounds wrong with that. $70,000 a year. Until you say a year of my life is only worth $70,000. And you can insert whatever number you want. If you look in the mirror and you ask yourself this question, is my life only worth X amount, whatever it is that you made in 2024? Ask yourself that question and then answer it. I guarantee 99% of the people watching this video right now, you're going to say, nah, that's unacceptable. I want more. And that desire that you have is not incorrect. Nobody can tell you that that's an incorrect desire to want more. It's not greed to want to elevate, because your destiny, your mission in life might require more money. What you want to do for your life and your family, nobody can tell you you're wrong. Don't miss tomorrow. Do not miss tomorrow. The last day of this 90 days of value is going to be explosive. But nobody can look at you and say, hey, you're thinking, like, why are you thinking that big? Who do you think you are? You think you're better than us? If somebody ever asks you that question, you better respond the right way. If somebody has the audacity to ask me, you think you're better than me? My response will be, well, since you asked, yes, I do. Why does that sound so bad? You think about this. Why does it sound bad? Because you're actually voicing the belief that you have in yourself. Now, do I walk around carrying myself like I'm better than other people? No. I walk around carrying myself like I believe in myself. And if that makes somebody else uncomfortable, that's their problem, not mine. That's their issue that they have to reconcile with their own value, their own goals, their own possibility for their own life. That has nothing to do with me. Right? I don't walk around carrying myself like I'm better than anybody else. I love helping people. I love picking people up. I love encouraging. I love speaking life into people. I love being a light in the environments that I'm in. Any environment that I walk in, I'm a light. Any environment that I walk in, I'm trying to make it better. Any people I'm around, I'm trying to make an impact. I'm trying to bring value. I'm asking myself, what can I do to help this person? Whether that person is trying to get to my level or whether that person is above my level financially, perception wise, right? Even my mentors, I'm thinking, how can I bring more value to them? Because watch this. If I bring value to my mentor and I know they're elevated at a place higher financially than I am, then guess what? Now, if I'm bringing them value, they're more likely to be invested in my own elevation. And the same thing works with somebody who's trying to get to my level, right? We're okay, how can I help them elevate their life based on my experience, based on what I know? How can I pick that person up? That's how I carry myself, right? I'm a light in whatever room that I walk in, but you better believe my confidence, I don't shrink for anybody. And if somebody has the audacity, who do you think you are? You think you better than us? Well, since you voiced it, yes. Yes, I do. I operate from a higher frequency. And when I start talking about things that I believe in, maybe you don't relate. In my mind, yeah. Right? And if that makes you uncomfortable, then you got to deal with that. If I don't care what their title is, friend, family member, if somebody, how's that little business you got going? How's that little thing you said you're going to do going? I want you to check the energy from the door. Check it from the door. Hey, clock it. Understand what they're saying. You ain't read that energy wrong. Get away from people like that. If they're not feeding you, if they're not feeding your energy, if they're not hyping you up, building you up, supporting your mission, then there ain't no in between. They're against it. They're against it. If they're not feeding that faith, feeding your belief, then guess what? There ain't no in between, ain't no half stepping. It's a line. Either you with me or you not. And if you're not, there might need to be a season of separation. Whether you call that person friend for the last 20 years, whether it could be your sister, your mama, your dad, I don't care who it is. It's that serious. Your goal should be that serious to you. It should be. I'm very serious about mine. And I only want to surround myself with people who can help me get there. Because I understand this third principle. A ton of your success will be determined by the quality of people you lock arms with. If I would have known this, when I went to college, I wish, like, if you got sons and daughters, nieces and nephews that's about to go to school, that's about to go to a 4-year college, sit them down and talk to them about this subject. Help them understand leverage. Help them understand loyalty, alliances, friendship, how to build a relationship. Get them this book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. How to Win Friends and Influence People. Have them read that book. Every child in high school should read that book. Because if they are planning to go to college, what's more important than the education that they get? Hear me. What's extremely important, what's more important than the education they're about to get, are the people that they are going to meet while at that university. I'm talking from people who run the university, to the educators, the teachers, the professors, to the peers that they are going to be around while they're on that campus. Pay attention. Pay attention. Because you never, like, You never know who people are going to become later on and how you can help each other, how you can leverage relationships to get to a higher place mutually. Leverage does, when I say the word leverage, I don't just mean stepping on somebody to get to where you want to go. I'm talking about leverage where both parties actually win. Two people can come together and get to higher levels together. Right? Two people can come together and create win-win situations where we can win together. You never know. You never know who somebody can become, and in the space that they occupy and how it can help you in your life. That's why you always want to treat people right. I treat people right. It took some maturity for me to understand, right? It's relationships matter. Relationships matter, and in life, scales tip. Scales do tip. Somebody that you perceive is not important today can be extremely important to what you're trying to accomplish later on. That's why you treat people right. You never know. You never know. And people, and watch this. Here's the thing about people. They don't remember what you say. They remember how you made them feel. That's why I walk around always encouraging other people, being a light, being a person of value. Why? Because I understand these principles. And light is attractive. Being a person of value is attractive. Entering spaces, trying to figure out how to help people is attractive. Who doesn't want to be around somebody that's always trying to help other people elevate? Who doesn't want to be around that person? Who doesn't want to do business with a person that's positive, optimistic, goal oriented, consistent, determined, impeccable word? They do what they say they're going to do. These are the qualities that you want to talk to your children about if they are going to college, if they're not going to college, if they're starting a business, whatever they're doing. These are the attributes that you want them to walk around with, because I'm telling you right now, this is the type of information that can literally change whole situations, because they might forge a relationship on that campus that will lead later on to someone being elevated in a space of power, position, influence, like powerful information. And because the relationship is solid, that person has the ability to pull you up as well. Or you get in a position where you can pull somebody else up and benefit yourself and benefit them at the same time. You never know. You never know. Where does money come from? I've been saying these whole entire 90 days. Where does money come from? Money comes through information. And where does information come from? Information comes from people. Therefore, your relationships are connected to your bank account. Hello? These principles, these are the three things I wish I would have knew sooner in life and took them seriously. What you focus on grows. Be intentional about everything. And a ton of your success will be determined by the quality of people that you lock arms with. This ain't theory. This is real life. I said this, I said this to somebody the other day, and I thought about it yesterday. Several different times in my life on social media, a Facebook message led to me making an insane amount of money in a short period of time. Several different times in my life, a Facebook message led to a lot of money coming into my life. A simple Facebook message. A simple Facebook message led to a relationship that led to some great information that led me to some great money. This social media thing is extremely powerful. I know, because it's still happening to me today. A few weeks ago, I got a Facebook message from someone with some powerful information. And I'm glad I was open-minded enough to look and listen, because that piece of information is literally making me money right now while I'm talking to y'all. My money is working for me. It's just certain key relationships, certain key pieces of information that when you get it and you apply it, it can lead to more financial elevation than you can even imagine. Certain relationships, getting in certain rooms. There was another room that I got into. I don't know if y'all followed the instruction based on what I said the other on the other 90 days of value, excuse me. I said there's an app called the Meetup app. What's this? We're on 2026. 3 years ago, on January 1st, 2023, it was like a few days before January 1st, but I made a mission the very next year to intentionally get in some new rooms. And one of them was a real estate room that I found on Meetup. I'm trying to tell you, that Meetup that I went to and started going to consistently led me to a few key relationships. One of which, shout out to my friend Al Luke, amazing individual, high quality individual, great mindset, great information. We've been locked in ever since. Going on 3 years of me knowing him and exchanging valuable information back and forth. Led from getting in that room and having the mindset to get in new rooms and meet new people. I'm trying to tell you. And the amount of money we about to make. I'm trying to tell you, these principles lead to money. Everything I've been saying now 89 days straight that I've said in this series, this 90 days of value, if you take it and apply it, it has the ability to make you a lot of money. And somebody like me that understands these principles, the reason why I'm teaching them is because it's working in my life right now. I'm literally looking for people, new people. If you're watching this video on YouTube, you can go to the description box of this video and contact me. I want to know you. I want to know who you are. I'm willing to give you the information that I have to help you elevate your life. I don't care where you are on the planet, on planet Earth. It doesn't matter what country you're from. I got friends all over the world. I have students all over the world, people that I help all over the world. I can help you too. You might have some information for me. Same thing on Facebook. You can literally tag me. Charles, show me. What are you doing? I got a phone call yesterday. Talk to somebody for an hour. Breaking down to her how I'm doing what I'm doing. She locked in. She's like, that makes a lot of sense. I want to do that too. I mean, who doesn't like passive income? Who doesn't want to make money while they sleep? I'm doing that. And I'm helping other people learn how to do it. Because I understand these principles. These principles I just went over, I wish I would have known sooner. What you focus on grows. Be intentional about everything. A ton of your success will be determined by the quality of people you lock arms with. These are the three biggest things I wish I would have known sooner in my life and took extremely serious. The faster you get your children to understand this, the better they are going to be in life. And here's the biggest part. You make the decision to become a higher quality individual, higher information. You collect that information and then take it back to your children as soon as possible. See, it took me 39 years to get this information. I'm now giving to my children when they were 9 years old, 10, 11, 12 years old, 13 years old. I'm giving it to my children as fast as I possibly can, because by the time they have my grandchildren, I want my grandbaby to be first week already on a path to millions. Already like a millionaire from the first breath, because we were good stewards over the money that we made. We put it in the right environments to cause it to grow. We have the right entity structure, the right assets. Hello? I don't know if this is making sense to anybody. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't tell people what to do with their money. That's illegal. I am not a financial advisor, right? I don't tell people what to do with their money. All I do is show people what I'm doing and how it's working for me and how it's worked for other people around me that have decided to do the same things I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. That's it. I'm not telling people what to do. I'm just showing them what I'm doing. And if they decide to do it, then guess what? I mean, you just got to pick up what I'm putting down. What are the three principles again? I want to write them down. That's excellent. The first principle, these are the three of the most important things I wish I would have known sooner in life. Number one, what you focus on grows. What you focus on grows. Number two, be intentional about everything. Become intentional about everything starting today. I mean, how you do everything matters. It matters. And the last one, a ton of your success will be determined by the quality of people you lock arms with. A ton of your success will be determined by the quality of people you lock arms with. A ton of your success will be determined by the quality of people you lock arms with. What does that mean? That means become intentional about who you listen to, who you keep around you, who you allow into your circle. Be intentional about who you pick as a mentor in different areas of your life. Surround yourself with high quality people who have high quality information that want to share that information with you. You do those three things, you're on a path to elevating your life, along with what I talked about on day 87, my 3-step framework to financial elevation. Day 86, the ultimate leveraging component, attending events. Day 85, this is how close you are to millions. That's what I talked about on day 85. Day 84, simple math, going from $200 commissions to $20,000 commissions in day 84. Day 83, teamwork pays more. Day 82, expect more from yourself. Day 81, audit your circle. Day 80, self-accountability is the beginning of elevation. I told you these last 10 days, right? These last 10 days of this 90 days of value was going to be all about, and even day 79, traversing the road less traveled. These last few sessions of this 90 days of value was going to be about all things. I thought about these last 10 sessions and I said to myself, okay, I want to be intentional about these last 10 days because I want to talk about things that really impacted my beginning, where my mind was November 2012, and the steps that I took to elevate those 6 months from November 2012 to April 2013, when I made that great amount of money, more money than I ever made in my entire life to that point. What my mindset was, what my decision making was like, what I was focused on, and also give you guys things that I've done the last 2 years to elevate, principles that I started applying, things that help me step in the right direction. These last 10 sessions, 10, 11 sessions on this 90 days of value was what all of those things were about. That's what it all was about. Right? That's what my intent was. These mindset shifts, like self-accountability, right? Auditing my circle, picking higher quality people to listen to, right? Getting the mindset of expecting more from myself, understanding that teamwork pays more, understanding that it was possible and necessary for me to go from $50 commissions, $100 commissions, $200 commissions, and trading those in for what I could make $20,000 commissions, $30,000 commissions, $50,000 commissions, $100,000 commissions, because it's the same amount of energy, just applied to a different skill set, different industry, which gives me greater results. Like understanding how close you are to millions of dollars. You're not far away. $1 million, you're not far away. I want you to understand that. And I really encourage you to look past $1 million, because you're going to get there and you're going to be like, dang, I should have did this much sooner. And you're going to look up and be like, wow, I got to 1 million, but 5 million sound way better. I want to encourage you to look past that million now. Think bigger, much faster. Right? The ultimate leveraging component, attending events, another major leap forward when I started to understand how powerful it was getting into different rooms with higher quality people. And then what to do when you get in that room. When you get in that room, how do you process that information and turn it into money? I talked about that. My 3-step framework to financial elevation, right? Understanding that you were born into a system and how to navigate it, how to put it into practice for you to win instead of the system using you. And then today, 3 of the most important things I wish I would have known sooner in life. Everything I just said is wrapped up in those 3 things. What you focus on grows. Being intentional about everything, and a ton of success a ton of your success will be determined by the quality of people you lock arms with. Like that second one, be intentional. Even in my 90 days of value, I'm telling you, it's intentional. These whole 90 days were extremely intentional. And tomorrow, day 90. This is where a lot of people are gonna get set free on this last one. Don't miss tomorrow. Hey, listen, I tell everybody, I know if I can help you change your perspective, even if it's just a little bit, I can help you change your life. Because the beginning of elevation starts with a change in perspective, a change in the way you see things, a change in what you believe is possible, right? Getting swollen with belief on the inside, understanding how close you are to really everything you've ever wanted. It's not far away. Your dream car is not far away. Your dream house is not far away. Your dream lifestyle is not far away. It's not. It's not far away. You just haven't made the decision to go get it. And as soon as you make that decision to go get it, you're now progressing and moving closer to it. And the other part of it is the moment you make the decision to start moving towards it, it starts moving towards you too. That I think it was day 44, collapsing time, if I remember correctly, if my memory is correct. Day 44, collapsing time and skipping levels, that's a real thing. This is quantum physics. When you start moving towards what you want starts moving towards you too. It's kind of interesting how when you make the decision, the circumstances, the people, the situations, things start lining up. Sierra just said it in the chat. I was just talking about this yesterday. You think that's by accident? I was just saying this. That's not by accident. That's called frequency. That's what that's called. It's not. Pay attention when that stuff like that start happening. Those are the confirmations that you're moving in the right direction. It's quantum mechanics. It's quantum physics. It's not by accident. It happens on purpose. The circumstances start lining up. The people start lining up. The type of information that you need. Everything I want always finds its way to me. Anytime a hater tries to keep me down and hide information from me, I don't get upset because I know the information is going to come from somewhere else. I operate my life like water. When you watch water moving down the stream and there's a rock in the way, does the water stop? The water goes over the rock. The water goes around the rock to the right. The water goes around the rock to the left. It won't stop. The water just keeps on moving. That's how I am. You can't stop me from getting what I've decided to go get. If I encounter, and I've encountered people that are okay with me as long as we're on the same level. But the moment I start deciding to go higher, now the relationship changes. Understand that's going to happen. Everybody's not going to be excited for your success. But I operate from such a position of abundance, from a frequency that's so high, even somebody like that, you can't hide the information from me. You ain't the only one with it. What I want always finds me. The people that have the information that I need, they always find me. Because when I made the decision to move towards what I want, those things start coming to me. Your mind is an antenna. I taught this in the 90 Days of Value. This thing is an antenna. The same way your phone works. If somebody dials your number, they're not going to get anybody else on the planet but you if they dial your phone number. And we all operate the same way. Nikola Tesla, one of my favorite quotes. If you want to know the secrets of life, think in terms of frequency, vibration, and energy. If you want to know the secrets to life, think in terms of frequency, vibration, and energy. This is an antenna. That's why it's so important to put your mind on what it is that you want and only on what you want. What's number one? What's number one that I said today? What you focus on grows, right? Another way of saying that, what you focus on, you attract. What you focus on will happen. What you focus on is what will take place. So that's why you need to get your goals in your mind. Get on the frequency that says you can have them. Start believing bigger much faster. And these things will start to align themselves. What you will see and what you will experience is the things that you're thinking about, the situations, the circumstances, the people, everything starts lining up. Dang, I said I wanted this, and now you're talking about it. Just was talking on the phone to one of my students yesterday for an hour. She was like, dang, I wanted that information. It's not by accident. It's purposeful. What's number two? Be intentional about everything. All these things fit together like a glove. Everything I've been talking about these last 89 days. All right, I think I squeezed every ounce of value out of this topic. I think you get it. Last day, 90 days of value. Last day is tomorrow. Don't miss it. I'll see you on the last 90 days of value. I appreciate every single one of you. Share this out. Somebody needs to hear it. Peace.